咁其實我想大家明白嘅就係唔好以為你冇讀到呢一個單元喎，選修單元第三個或者第四個，我都冇讀，咁唔會啲題目唔關我事啦，係咪啊？
呢啲嘢唔關我事㗎，冇理由有我份喎。
咁多位大家好，我係梁 Sir，卷二嘅解題咧正式啟動啦。咁啊，記得翻啦，卷二做1個鐘，4個單元揀2個去做，即係每一個單元做半個鐘啦。而每一個單元咧就有2個分題嘅，咁即係每15分鐘就要完成一個分題啦。咁啊，解卷嘅次序咧，我就先會解咗近呢5年嘅 DSE 題目先。咁啊，單元都係順住噶啦，A B C D 咁樣去啦。與此同時咧，我都會輯翻一啲相關嘅外國試題咧，俾你哋去做一做嘅。咁除咗 DSE 嘅卷二解題之外咧，咁我以前都拍咗段片咧，係有關於去讀啊或者溫啊卷二嘅意識嘅，單止 Section A 嘅 B、C、D 咧我都拍晒嘅。咁啊，詳情咧就快快睇翻2025年嘅 DSE 終極檢閱啦，掌握翻卷二嘅學習心法。
好，咁啊，事不宜遲啦，我哋即刻嚟睇下2025年嘅卷二丙部微生物學嘅題目啦。咁啊 Part A 嘅題目咧係有關於沙門氏菌嘅，當年嘅考生表現咧係 very poor， 非常之差。咁我哋就嚟睇下呢個題目有啲咩嘢我哋要留意咯。題目就講到明噶啦，沙門氏菌嘅感染咧係可以引起腹瀉啦，甚至死亡嘅。咁一般而言啦，沙門氏菌我哋無啦啦點會受感染呢？係嚟自一啲未煮熟晒嘅禽料啦，即係嚟雞啦，白切雞。究竟嗰個雞骨咧，入面仲係紅卜卜嘅喎，咁即係未煮熟啦，係咪？又或者啦，禽料嘅蛋啦，例如雞蛋啦，咁佢都係有機會受到沙門氏菌嘅感染。而如果你直接生食嘅話啦，你就有機會中招啦。咁所以你見到咧，日本咧，佢賣雞蛋嘅時候咧，佢會講到明嘅。呢盒蛋咧係可以直接生食嘅，生蛋飯咧係得嘅。不過啦，有另一啲蛋咧，佢就話啦，唔可以生食嘅喎。呢一樣嘢咧，都同我哋嘅日常生活咧有關係嘅。咁目前啦，對於沙門氏菌感染嘅治療咧，通常咧都涉及服用抗生素 antibiotics 嘅。咁而家我哋就想去鑑定一下啦。究竟邊啲抗生素有效先，能夠對付到沙門氏菌先？咁我哋就做咗以下呢一個科學探究咯。當我哋培養沙門氏菌之前咧，我哋就會將一種或者多過一種嘅抗生素咧加入去個液體培養物當中，然後再睇下未來24小時嘅變化啊，究竟啲菌咧仲可唔可以生存到、繁殖到咧？咁我哋點樣知道啲菌多定少啊？研究人員咧就係對培養物嘅光密度 OD 咧進行咗一個24小時嘅監測啦。話啦，喺呢個0小時之前啊，我哋有一個液體培養物就養住啲沙門氏菌啦。咁我哋真真正正擺佢落去呢個 spectrophotometer 去做實驗之前咧，其實我已經係加咗抗生素1啦、抗生素2啦，或者抗生素1同2一齊加嘅。咁即係話我哋有4個裝置，係咪？咁所以入題目之前咧，第一樣嘢其實題目已經考緊你噶啦，就係微生物學實驗嘅技巧，就係你點樣理解 OD 光密度嘅呢個概念啦。喺個 spectrophotometer 呢個所謂光譜儀底下啦，咁我哋一邊咧就照光射過去嘅就係我哋呢個液體培養物啦，入面多唔多菌啊？係嘛，有冇菌啊？咁然後啦，另一邊咧就有個探測器，就探測下究竟啦，由呢個光源射過嚟，穿過咗呢個液體培養物之後，仲有幾多光係可以過到嚟嘅咧？咁其實啦，有幾多光能夠穿過到呢個液體培養物咧？就建基於呢個液體培養物會唔會好混濁咯？就係睇個 turbidity 啦。turbidity 其實混濁程度點樣出現嘅咧？其實入面講緊越多細菌、越多細胞，咁入面咪越混濁咯，係咪？而呢個 spectrophotometer 咧就會將呢個混濁程度轉化成為呢個數據，就叫做 OD 啦 ，optical density 光密度。而 OD 越高，就代表住呢個液態嘅培養物當中越多嘅細胞。我唔理你係生定死，總之就好多細胞，對不對？睇翻呢幅圖咧都唔難理解嘅，冇加到抗生素，咁梗係多細菌啦。加咗1加咗2嘅少啲細菌，加埋1同2一齊加落去嘅，咁咪又再少啲細菌咯，係咪？因為抗生素我哋學過噶嘛，係可以攞嚟殺死啲細菌噶嘛，係咪？所以啦， 入題目之前其實已經考緊你嘢㗎啦。咁而家我哋真係嚟睇一條題目咯。第一條題目咧，其實係問緊一啲實驗嘅技巧嘅。而家喺你面前嘅咧係一個有數個沙門氏菌群落嘅培養皿。咁而家你就要描述下所需要嘅準備程序，即係我哋做 SBA 啊，做實驗啊，有啲咩步驟要處理一下，令到上述嘅實驗，即係而家呢一個 spectrophotometer，我哋做呢個實驗嘅當中咧，每一個培養物都具有相同嘅初次光密度。咁我哋嘅準備程序有兩個目的，第一個目的就係你要轉移同埋培養群落。因為而家喺你面前嘅只係一個培養皿，係嘛？可能係一個agar 上面有啲群落啦，係咪？咁你要將佢擺落去個液體嘅培養物嗰處啊嘛，所以啦，你要收集同埋轉移個沙門氏菌嘅樣本，然後養佢。養完之後啦，唔好忘記喎，因為睇翻條題目你會發現啦，我有4個裝置，係咪？第一個裝置咧就係呢啲菌，我冇加到抗生素。第二個裝置就係加咗1號抗生素，第三個裝置就加咗抗生素2，而第四個裝置就係抗生素1同2一齊加落去，即係我有4個裝置。而題目亦都講到明㗎啦，我要令到每個培養物係具有相同嘅初次光密度，即係養完啦，你要將佢點啊？分做4等份。我哋係講緊先養咗佢哋，然後再倒落4個批次嗰處，去擺落去個 spectrophotometer 去測試佢哋嘅 OD， 就唔係一開波，你俾4支 test tube 我啦，我就養佢分開養，就唔係分開養，應該係一齊養咗先，然後再倒落4支 tube 嗰處，呢個先真。而條題目考我哋嘅就係如何表達我哋嘅實驗步驟。以前都教過大家噶啦，做 SBA 實驗步驟咧，一句步驟入面有幾樣嘢係冇得走雞嘅。第一就係個儀器個工具，你用乜嘢儀器先？test tube、conical flask 係嘛？試管啊、圓錐瓶啊、water bath 水浴啊，即係起碼個儀器工具你要講咗先啦。第二啦。action verb 個動詞啦，係嘛？加啲嘢啊，抽取啲嘢啊，諸如此類。第三啦就係備註，加嘢嘅加幾多啊？你擺落去個水浴浸幾耐啊？個水浴幾多度啊？加啲咩酸鹼落去 pH 幾啊？或者啦分咗幾多組啊？係咪？冇晒呢3個嘅元素之後，記緊寫步驟，唔使複雜嘅，短句作答。I go to school by bus。夠用噶啦，已經。
I love you guys. Thank you.
第一步喺個平板當中係嘛？喺呢個 agar plate 當中咧，去挑選同埋轉移一個群落去到培養液當中，搞掂啦，係嘛？有 action verb 動詞，由邊度轉移去到邊度，搞掂晒。然後啦，養佢哋 grow the culture。In an incubator 係嘛？將個培養物擺喺培養箱，培養幾耐啊？你培養24小時又得，培養一段特定時間都得，冇所謂。但係你要話俾我聽，培養下咯。如果唔係，你呢一句咧冇咗知識呢一部分咧，其實係唔完整嘅。你培養1日啊，1個禮拜啊，定1個月啊？而去到第3步咧，就係將呢個液體培養物咧分做4等份。咁你倒落去圓錐瓶又好，倒落去個試管都好，就係將佢分做4等份咯。然後啦，就將呢4等份倒翻落去另一支管，再放落去個 spectrophotometer 去量度佢哋嘅 OD。咁啊，再睇24小時。不過呢個已經係後話啦，因為我只係需要令到每個培養物具有相同嘅初次光密度，大家都係呢一個光密度就 OK 噶啦嘛。所以頭先就係講啦，我哋係先一齊養，然後分做4等份，就唔係將佢分做4款，係嘛？分開一齊養，唔係，係一齊養。我哋就唔係話將嗰啲菌咧分別擺咗喺4支管先。4支管咧，我哋由佢自己養啦。喺呢4支試管入面，佢哋嗰個生存環境可能係一樣嘅，但係你都會俾人抽秤㗎嘛。有咩好得過一齊養咗先？然後先再倒落去4支管咧，係咪？跟住啦，去到第2部分，我哋就要比較數據咯。究竟啦，分別使用抗生素1同抗生素2嘅成效啊，比較一下，你會得出啲咩嘅結論咧？咁呢個題目啦，唔使審啦，數據分析啦，做比較啦，得出結論啦，係咪？ 咁所以啦，整個思考框架，第一你要做觀察，喺幅圖你見到啲乜嘢，然後有嗰句講嗰句，得出結論咯喎。所以又係考翻大家直線抽擊答題法啦。第一個比較唔使審噶啦，係咪？就梗係將冇抗生素第一個裝置啦，其實佢就係對照裝置啦，同埋阿一同阿二，喂，分別用啊嘛，係咪？其實就係將裝置一嘅呢條曲線同埋裝置二、裝置三嘅呢兩條曲線做一個好概括嘅比較，就係分別加入咗抗生素一同抗生素二嘅培養物咧，佢嘅 O.D 其實係較為低嘅。先就講咗嘛，越高 O.D 就即係越多細胞越多細菌啊嘛，係咪？咁所以啦，正常啦，係嘛？冇加抗生素咪好多細菌咯，加咗嘅就少咗啦，係嘛？佢個 O.D 咧係少過冇加抗生素嘅。咁有咩結論啊？意味住啦，抗生素一同埋抗生素二咧都係能夠抑制到沙門氏菌嘅成長。咁比較完冇加抗生素同埋加咗一二抗生素之後啦，仲有冇嘢比較呢？當然仲有啦，就係比較翻單單淨係加抗生素一同埋抗生素二咯。咁有啲咩可以睇得到啊？就係啦，淨係加咗抗生素二咧，比起淨係加抗生素一咧，佢個 O.D 咧係再低一啲嘅，係咪啊？咁即係話入面啊，係咪再少啲細胞，再少啲細菌啊？即係話啲細菌冇咁容易再成長得到、繁殖得到啦。所以啦，個結論就係抗生素二咧，比起抗生素一咧，佢抑制沙門氏菌嘅成長就更加有效咯。然後啦，去到第三部分啦，題目就要我哋參考翻抗生素嘅作用，就建議一下啦，講下點解啦。同一時間利用抗生素一同抗生素二嘅話咧，係能更有效咁樣去抑制到沙門氏菌嘅成長喎。你話啦，哇，呢條題目執到啦，就係睇翻最後一條 curve 啫嘛，係咪？咁啊當中啦，梗係考翻我哋咩數據分析啊、比較啊，然後又作出建議啦，用翻我哋生物學嘅原理啦，係咪？咁所以啦，又考翻我哋咧有關於抗生素嘅作用咯，全部嘢我背晒噶啦，梁 Sir 答晒落去就得啦嘛？唔係啊，其實今次呢條題目咧冇咁高要求嘅，低好多要求嘅，1分啫嘛，使乜你背咁多嘢啊？係咪？睇清楚啦。呢個題目係唔需要你做數據分析，亦都唔需要你做比較。首先啦，你望一望題目，佢有冇叫你比較數據啊？冇啊嘛，係咪啊？佢有冇同你講啦？哎呀，同一時間用抗生素一同二咧，比起單獨去利用抗生素一或者二啦，佢哋個用處有冇唔同啊？個影響有冇唔同啊？有冇咁問你啊？冇喎，係直接講咗俾你聽噶啦。同時使用抗生素一和二係能更有效地抑制沙門氏菌嘅生長，講咗俾你聽噶啦，使乜比較啊？使乜分析啊？你話唔係喎，參考翻抗生素嘅作用喎，點解你連呢句都查埋啊？抗生素作用唔使講咩？係啊，真係唔使你講啊，因為佢都唔係叫你去建議一下抗生素嘅作用，或者要你去提出，哎呀，抗生素一同二咧，究竟有咩用啊？都冇咁問過你，佢純粹就係問同時使用兩種抗生素，阿一同阿二，點解能夠更有效地，即係已經比起啊，淨係用阿一同淨係用阿二，係更有效抑制沙門氏菌嘅成長咧？所以說穿了，其實佢係問緊你同時使用兩種抗生素嘅重要性。其實即係直線抽擊答題法嘅重要性的重要性。所以啦，答案非常之明顯嘅，就係呢兩種抗生素針對沙門氏菌唔同嘅生物學過程或者生理機制。所以啦，雙管齊下，一種抗生素咧就抑制佢哋嘅蛋白質嘅生成嘅，另一款咧就抑制佢哋個核酸嘅生成嘅。咁咪得咯。咁但係你唔係答呢兩樣嘢咯，你係答呢兩款嘅武器係達到兩種唔同嘅效果，咁就已經得噶啦。咁可能有同學會問嘅，喂，唔係喎，梁 Sir，咁如果咧我就去答啦，其實咧要同一時間使用兩種抗生素嘅好處咧，就係避免咗呢個沙門氏菌咧係對於某種嘅抗生素有個抗藥性。因為啦，你單體用阿一同阿二咧，都整唔死晒佢哋啊，係咪嚇？你個 O.D 咧都有一定嘅水平啊，係咪？咁但係其實正正你呢個想法係正路嘅，但係啦， 都係兜圈答題。點解我咁樣講啊？因為啦，當你話沙門氏菌係對於抗生素1或者抗生素2，可能啦，例如對抗生素1先啦，佢有較大嘅抗藥性嘅，咁我加多個2俾佢咯，係咪啊？你就係答翻呢一樣嘢啫嘛。因為兩種抗生素，佢針對緊沙門氏菌唔同嘅生物過程、生理機制，所以啦，就兩個方法一齊用，咁啊包整實死佢啦。頭3部分咧，我哋都係講抗生素嘅。去到第4部分咧，我哋就講益生菌 probiotics。喺呢個實驗當中咧，我哋就想研究一下益生菌對於啲老鼠仔啊呢個沙門氏菌感染嘅效果。咁下面我哋有3個裝置。第一個裝置咧就係餵啲老鼠仔食沙門氏菌，到頭來個結果佢哋梗係病啦，受感染啦，係咪？到裝置 B 咧就係先去餵咗啲老鼠仔食益生菌。然後隔一段時間之後，再餵佢哋食沙門氏菌，咁但係結果就係，咦佢哋保持健康喎，冇病喎。去到裝置 C 咧，我哋同樣地啦，先餵啲老鼠仔食益生菌，然後隔一段時間餵佢哋食抗生素，然後再隔多一段時間再餵佢哋食呢個沙門氏菌。啲老鼠仔真係多災多難啦。咁到頭來咧，佢哋又係病咗嘅。
使唔使玩到咁盡啊？直情係嘥你啦！
咁第一部分就問我哋啦，關於益生菌嘅效果，你可以得出咩嘅結論呢？咁其實係咪真係要做下數據分析啊？比較下唔同裝置，然後得出結論啊？係咪？最基本呢，裝置 A、裝置 B 呢，你係一定要識得揀嘅，因為就係最典型噶啦，一個有食到益生菌健康嘅，另一個冇食到益生菌，餵食完沙門氏菌之後就病咗啦。今日借個機會啦，講下啲題型變奏啦。咁下次啦，可能就會問下你，喂，裝置 A、B、C 邊個係對照裝置啊？當我哋比較緊 A、B 嘅時候，係嘛？咁啊，IVD、VCV 各自又係啲乜嘢啊？咁我哋講翻裝置 A、B 嘅比較底下咧，成個 IV 係唔難理解嘅，就係有食同埋冇食到益生菌，對不對？咁 DVCV 你就試下啦。咁所以裝置 A 咧，唔難理解啦，佢就係對照裝置，因為佢冇食到益生菌。咁裝置 B 咧就係實驗裝置啦。咁啊，根據翻以前我哋學過嘅嘢嘅對照裝置就可以確保我哋嘅實驗結果係由探究因素所造成。冇食益生菌，食完沙門氏菌病咗；食咗益生菌，隔一段時間再食沙門氏菌冇病到。咁唔難理解嘅，自不然就係益生菌應該係幫到啲老鼠仔去預防沙門氏菌嘅感染，對不對？咁當然啦，留意我哋應該要用嘅動詞咧都要好準確，係 prevent 係預防。咁啊，因為啦，我哋係先餵咗隻老鼠仔食益生菌，然後先再餵佢食沙門氏菌啊嘛。咁即係益生菌係出現咗喺個老鼠嘅腸臟入面先嘅。而唔係啦，我哋先餵咗佢食沙門氏菌，佢病咗啦，然後再餵佢食呢個益生菌。嗱，呢啲咧叫醫病，係嘛？係一個 treatment 嚟嘅，就唔係預防疾病。但係而家係咩啊？我哋先有益生菌，再食沙門氏菌，到頭來啦，啲老鼠仍然係健康喎。咁即係話啦，益生菌係有機會預防到啲老鼠仔受到沙門氏菌嘅感染啦。所以嗰個動詞咧，我哋係用 prevent 係嘛，用預防，而唔係用 treat 用醫治呢個咁嘅字眼咯。
我要個細節，我都計算埋嘅。
喺比較 A 同 B 之間，如果我哋淨係比較佢哋兩個，我哋頂多都係初步推斷到益生菌似乎有啲用嚇，佢應該咧係同令到啲老鼠仔健康有關係嘅啫。咁但係萬一原來裝置 B 咧，啲老鼠仔之所以健康咧，純屬巧合，又或者啦，其實益生菌咧係掩蓋咗個症狀，而唔係真正發揮到抑制細菌嘅作用嘅話咧，咁 A、B 當中我頂多落到嗰一句嘅結論咧，就係話益生菌咧似乎係同保持到啲老鼠仔健康嘅呢一件事有啲關聯啫。佢係咪真係預防到啲老鼠仔受到沙門氏菌感染咧？我噏唔出嘅。所以啦，我就要比較埋 B 同 C 咯。咁喺 B 同 C 當中咧，今次就到阿 B 係對照裝置咯。因為你會發現啦，阿 B 同阿 C 相差咗乜嘢咧？就係阿 B 係冇食到抗生素， 但係 C 咧係有食到抗生素，係嘛？咁所以啦，嗱 A 同 B 可以比較啦，B 同 C 又可以比較啦，但係 A 同 C 可唔可以直接攞嚟比較啊？係唔得㗎喎。咁呢一樣嘢你要留意喎。咁所以啦，B、C 比較，咁你會發現啦，喺 C 呢一組咧，啲老鼠仔先食咗益生菌，隔一段時間再食抗生素，然後再隔一段時間就食埋沙門氏菌。咁抗生素我哋以前學過啊嘛，佢殺菌噶嘛，佢有冇機會殺埋啲益生菌啊？所以當莊智思嗰班老鼠仔食咗抗生素之後，啲益生菌俾抗生素殺死咗，然後再隔一段時間去餵啲沙門氏菌俾呢啲老鼠仔食，佢哋未由健康變翻做有病咯，係嘛？因為其實 B 同 C 相差咗嘅就係有冇食到抗生素啫嘛。所以啦，當我哋比較莊智 B 同 C 咧，係更加能夠證明得到莊智 B 入面嘅老鼠仔，佢哋之所以健康，其實係應該歸功於活着嘅益生菌，而唔係其他無關因素。咁我哋先能夠噏得到啦，應該係關啲益生菌事啦咁樣。當然啦，呢個題目只不過1分啫，其實你能夠用得到 A 同 B 咧，都好夠皮噶啦，已經係。我示範埋 B 同 C 係想令到整個思考邏輯咧更加完整咁解啫。咁再加上都1分啫，係咪？佢又冇要你解釋，除非題目要你用晒 A、B、C 去解釋啦，咁就唔會1分啦，係嘛？咁可能係4分、5分啦，係咪？嚟到呢度咧，我想翻兜多一次講呢個預防或者治療嘅呢個咁樣嘅動詞。今次我哋選擇預防呢個字眼。咁我真係好想寫治療喎，或者我想去測試下治療呢個字究竟啱唔啱用呢？其實單靠 A、B、C 呢3個實驗咧係未夠嘅，我哋可能要多1個實驗，就如啦叫阿 D 啦首先啦，餵啲老鼠仔食益生菌，然後再食抗生素殺咗啲益生菌，然後再食沙門氏菌，搞到佢哋病咗，好啦，再餵佢哋食多一次益生菌，睇下佢哋會唔會變翻健康。即係如果去到呢個情況底下，到頭來食多一次益生菌，佢哋係會好得翻呢？咁我哋又可以將呢個結論咧又改一改咯。頭來我哋個結論咧，可能就會係益生菌係能夠預防啦，同埋醫治到啦啲老鼠嘅沙門氏菌嘅感染咯。而家我哋係冇第4個裝置啊嘛，咁所以啦，喺有幾多分材料就講幾多分説話嘅情況底下咧，我哋就係講翻益生菌能夠預防到老鼠仔受到沙門氏菌嘅感染就夠啦。跟住去到第2部分咧，就問翻啦，喂，益生菌頭先有咩作用話？能夠預防到啲老鼠仔受到沙門氏菌嘅感染喎。咁題目就問，究竟啲益生菌點樣做到呢一件事咧？咁呢個題目啦，又係講建議啦，運用翻生物學原理啦，係咪？亦都考翻啦益生菌嘅工作原理。不過其實喺整課嘅微生物學咧，我哋對於益生菌嘅討論咧係較為少嘅。喂，咁點算啊？點答先？咁我哋就要逆向去推論啦。我哋就諗下，喂，一隻老鼠仔佢受到沙門氏菌感染啦，其實喂係點樣受感染嘅咧？咁而家我哋餵啲老鼠仔食沙門氏菌啊嘛，即係有啲細菌咧係會去到個老鼠嘅消化系統個腸臟嗰處啦，對不對？其實一般嘅沙門氏菌點樣令到個老鼠仔病，或者令到我哋人病啦？其實同樣玩法嘅啫，入到腸道咯，揾個地方住啦，嚟啦，黏附喺我哋腸壁嘅上皮啦，獲得養分啦，甚至放毒素啦，咁我哋咪病咯，係咪？咁所以啦，你見得到每一個關卡咧，其實我哋應該都係有辦法去令到嗰隻菌惡唔出樣嘅。第一，唔俾佢住，係嘛？佢想黏附喺個腸壁上皮嘅，我唔俾佢去住呢個位，咁我咪冇事咯。第二啦，佢要搶養分，我同佢鬥搶，係嘛？令到佢攞唔足養分，佢都係死嘅啫。第三啦，直接打死佢，係嘛？可能放啲毒素啊，放啲抗菌嘅物質啊，去整死啲沙門氏菌。呢個概念咧，同我哋平時學嘅身體防衛嗰課咧係一以貫之嘅，係嘛？我哋有屏障啦，放啲化學物質，我唔理你係胃酸，係嘛？我唔理你係抗體，有啲化學物質整死佢啦，係嘛？咁所以益生菌嘅工作原理咧，大致上可能都係呢幾個，係嘛？雖然我哋冇學過，但係我哋可以想像一下。第一，佢作為一個屏障啦， 益生菌可能喺個老鼠嘅腸度咧形成一個保護層，去阻止沙門氏菌黏附喺個腸道嘅上皮細胞。第二啦就係競爭，益生菌又係菌，沙門氏菌又係菌，大家住得喺條腸入面，大家都要養分啊，大家都要空間啦，係咪？大家鬥爭咯。咁益生菌話唔定佢競爭能力高啲咧，係咪？第三啦就係抑制，我又係菌，你又係菌，大家霸呢個地方，咁我點樣肯定我贏啊？我可能放到啲抗菌嘅物質去抑制到你，甚至殺死到呢一隻嘅沙門氏菌。喺呢個情況底下，佢益生菌咪贏咗隻沙門氏菌，佢咪繼續留低喺個腸道嗰處，可以殲滅咗啲病菌咯，對不對？咁其實呢啲概念係咪好新呢？其實又唔係。頭先講過啦，同我哋嘅 body defense 身體防衛嘅課題嘅概念咧係有關係嘅，又或者同我哋生態學嗰課其實都有關係嘅。兩款唔同細菌生活喺同一個嘅腸道環境，自不然就點啊？爭咯，係嘛？大家都要嘢食，大家都要空間，對不對？咁今次要爭嘅咪就係黏附嘅地方同埋個養分啦。咁所以說到尾咧，都係嗰兩隻字啫 ，feed and breed， 係嘛？餵食同埋繁衍。去到 Part C 啦，建議翻點解裝置師入面嘅老鼠仔咧會病喎？咁考翻我哋嘅又係建議啦，又運用翻生物學原理。頭先我哋約咗解過噶啦，就係因為食完益生菌，再食抗生素，再餵佢哋食個沙門氏菌，其實最衰就係抗生素對啲益生菌有負面影響，殺死咗啲益生菌，令到個老鼠仔失去咗呢個保護嘅屏障，啱唔啱啊？咁所以啦，其實嗰個裝置師咧，唔係淨係擺喺第三部分先用嘅。其實個裝置師咧，其實喺第一部分應該已經用咗，係嘛？因為要我哋比較啊嘛，裝置 A 同 B 嘅比較，裝置 B 同 C 嘅比較。咁呢個題目啦，有一個少少嘅常犯錯誤咧，借呢個機會又講一講啦。就係部分同學仔咧，佢就認為個益生菌咧係會誘發到裝置 C 嘅老鼠仔嘅免疫反應。如果呢一句成立嘅話咧，個免疫反應應該係打隻益生菌啦，就唔係打隻沙門氏菌啦，係嘛？即係點啊？借力打力嘅，係嘛？我有另一隻菌啊，通風報信嘅，喂，有另一隻菌入咗嚟啊，你同我打死佢啦，係嘛？即係呢個係我哋自己 B cell、T cell 佢哋做嘅嘢啫，係咪？咁我哋唔係咁樣借力打力噶嘛。嗱，咁題目就解完啦。咁啊，借呢個機會咧，又講講啦。2025年咧，其實我嘅終極模咧，其實都擺咗一條益生菌響樹嘅。無論係核心課程部分啦，亦或係選修課程部分啦。咁喺書本上其實個篇幅係較為少，咁但係益生菌呢一樣嘢，大家又唔係話完全冇聽過喎，因為平時嘅廣告啊、嗰啲健康食品啊都有機會提過，甚至乎老師咧都有機會教下啦，係咪？咁呢個題目咧，我就擺卷一嘅。咁其實我想大家明白嘅就係唔好以為你冇讀到呢一個單元喎，選修單元第3個或者第4個，喂我都冇讀，咁唔啲題目唔關我事啦，係咪啊？你睇完呢條題目，你已經知得到，其實佢問緊你嘅係一啲數據分析嘅題目啦，點樣得出結論啊？點樣比較數據啊？甚至乎係 SBA 寫步驟，係咪都擺咗喺其中啊？咁所以呢啲題目咧，大家做咗其實都有裨益嘅。咁呢個題目啦，正就係想俾大家知道下益生菌究竟喺我哋嘅腸臟入面係點做嘢嘅咧。咁啊幅圖你見得到啦，左手邊咧就係冇食到呢個益生菌，右手邊咧就係食咗益生菌之後啦，我哋個腸臟個回腸入面個壁啊，佢哋個黏液嘅厚度嘅變化。咁 Part B 佢就已經問啦，用翻兩幅圖啦，可以解釋下啦，點解進食咗益生菌之後咧係可以幫助減低一啲致病嘅細菌入咗個腸啊，令到我哋病嘅機會喎。其實咪即係益生菌預防到疾病咁解啫嘛，而呢個疾病都冇特別講係咪沙門氏菌啊，我就話啦，總之就食翻嚟咯，係嘛？基本霍亂菌都可以噶嘛，係咪？咁所以啦，呢啲題目咧，其實係對大家完全有益嘅。咁啊喺呢度啦，亦都提一提大家啦，益生菌啦喺腸道入面主要咧就係透過物理性或者化學性嘅微生物嘅競爭啦，爭空間啊、爭養分啊，或者釋放一啲抗菌嘅物質啦，去直接抑制沙門氏菌嘅。而唔係透過激發個宿主嘅免疫反應去發揮保護作用嘅。黏液層其實就係屬於我哋嘅第一道防線，腸道組織嘅物理屏障。 而免疫反應啦，通常就係講緊吞噬細胞啊、T 細胞啊，或者 B 細胞製造抗體啊，或者發炎反應啊。咁同過往一樣啦，我都會預備一啲額外嘅練習俾你哋嘅。例如呢條題目咧，我都會擺落去俾大家做一做嘅。咁啊喺留言區咧揾翻嗰個下載嘅連結咯。有咩問題喺留言區問翻，盡快答翻你。我哋下條片再見啦，拜拜。Hello student, I'm Mr. Lang. So let's talk about the 2025 Paper 2 Session C Microbiology question Part A. It's about the Salmonella infection. Salmonella infection can cause diarrhea or even death. Current treatment normally involve the administration of antibiotics. In order to identify antibiotics that can be used against Salmonella, one or more antibiotics were added to the liquid culture before incubation at 37 degrees Celsius. The optical density of the cultures were monitored for 24 hours. So you can see that in this graph with the x-axis 24 hours, and then there are 4 setups. So for these 4 setups, no antibiotics, antibiotics 1 or 2 added, and the setup 4 with the antibiotics 1 and antibiotics 2. And then we observe the change of the optical density. Before we talk about the part 1 question, surely we need to identify the skills checking. It's about the microbiology lab technique. In a spectrophotometer, unscattered light, which is the light transmitted through the sample, is measured. You can see the detector, and then you can see the light source, and then you can see the sample chamber. It contains the liquid cultures with the bacteria and the antibiotics, and then the turbidity readings are converted to optical densities. The turbidity comes from the presence of the cells of the bacteria. You can see that the higher the OD, the greater the number of cells, both living and dead cells present in the sample. And you can see from the graph, without antibiotics added to the liquid culture, so there will be a lot of bacteria living because no antibiotics to kill them. So you can see the OD will be very high. And then with the antibiotics 1 and 2, the OD will be very, very low. It is the main skills we are checking in this question. Then let's take a look at part 1 question. You are provided with a plate containing a few colonies of Salmonella. Describe the preparatory procedures required so that each culture has the same initial optical density for the above experiment. Steps for the procedure. The first purpose is to transfer and cultivate the colony of the Salmonella bacteria. Collect and transfer the Salmonella sample, and then we need to cultivate them, get a population of the bacteria first. And you can see that we have 4 setup, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have the second purpose. We need to prepare for the 4 setup with the same initial optical density. Therefore, we have the plate with the Salmonella colony, and then we transfer, we pick them up, and then cultivate them in the liquid culture, and then divided them into 4 setup, and then input it in the sample chamber, and then put it in the spectrophotometer for the reading. We need to apply the skills for the procedure presentation. Remember that there are 3 basic elements for the procedures writing. First of all, apparatus or the tools, let's say the test tube, let's say the conical flask, let's say the water bath, a lot. And then the action verb, you add something, you dip the test paper, or you transfer the solution. So you need to pick up the action verb. And then for the remarks, say you are going to transfer a certain liquid. So how is the volume? Or you put something in the water bath for the cultivation, for the incubation. How long? Or 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Or what about the temperature of the water bath or the pH value of the solution? A lot. And remember that to present your idea, present the procedure in a short sentence. I go to school by bus. That simple will be fine. First of all, pick and transfer a colony from the plate to the culture solution. Secondly, grow the culture in an incubator. For how long? For 24 hours or for a certain period of time. If you just write down the The red part, the action verb, and then the green part, the apparatus or the tools. And without these remarks, somehow it will make the procedure a bit ambiguous. It will be a bit difficult for other people to follow your steps. And thirdly, separate into 4 batches of equal volume, no matter in the conical flask or the test tube or the sample chamber, whatever. You need to tell me you are going to prepare 4 setups and all of them with the same OD, optical density, at the beginning of the scientific investigation. So the main idea is that we put the colony in the liquid culture and cultivate for a certain period of time and then separate them into 4 setups, but not separate the colony into 4 setups at the beginning and then let them grow for 24 hours. So somehow we cannot get the same OD at the beginning. So that's the key idea of this part. And then for part 2, compare the data shown. What can you conclude about the effectiveness of the antibiotics 1 and 2 when they are administered separately? For this question, surely we are going to do the data analysis, comparison, and drawing the conclusion. Surely for the skills checking, data analysis, comparison, and drawing conclusion. And for the scaffolding, we need to observe the graph, observe the data, observe the result, the OD, and then draw conclusion. First of all, we can compare the setup 1 and then the setup 2, 3, because setup 1 is the control setup without antibiotics, and then for the setup 2 and setup 3, as a group, they contain the antibiotics 1 or antibiotics 2. You can see that from the graph, the observation, the OD of the cultures given antibiotics 1 or 2 separately are lower than that without the antibiotics. Setup 1, right? So the conclusion will be, this shows that both antibiotics can inhibit the growth of the Salmonella. Is it enough? Not really. There are only 2 marks, but you can see that there are 4 marks. For any more comparison, we can compare the setup 2 and setup 3, which is the OD of the antibiotics 2 is lower than that of the antibiotics 1. So what's the conclusion? This shows that antibiotics 2 is more effective in inhibiting the growth of the Salmonella. And then for the part 3, with reference to the actions of the antibiotics, suggests why administering antibiotics 1 and 2 at the same time can inhibit the growth of the Salmonella more effectively. So that means the setup 4, antibiotics 1 and 2 at the same time. So you may think that, for the skill checking, data analysis, comparison, doing the suggestion, and then recall the action of the antibiotics. Wow, I remember a lot from the textbook already. Sorry, you don't need them. First of all, you don't need to do the data analysis and you don't need to do the comparison. Because from the question, can you see anything about compare the data zone? No. Did the question ask you that, what will be the effect of administering antibiotics 1 and 2 together at the same time, compare it with the setup 2 and 3, that means with the antibiotics 1 or antibiotics 2 separately? No. It has already told you that can inhibit the growth of the Salmonella more effectively. You don't need to use the data, you don't need to do the comparison. What about the last thing? With reference to the actions of the antibiotics. Hey, Mr. Leung, so I need to talk about this, right? No. Because the question is not asking you the actions of the antibiotics. It just asks you to do the suggestion. Why administering antibiotics 1 and 2 at the same time can inhibit the growth of the Salmonella more effectively. It does not directly ask you the action of the antibiotics. So what does it ask? It asks about the importance of using antibiotics at the same time. It's about the importance or the benefit or the significance of using both antibiotics at the same time. So the answer will be, the 2 antibiotics target different biological process of the Salmonella, and then it can inhibit the growth of the Salmonella in a better way, in a more effective way. Some students, they may ask that, hey, Mr. Leung, so what about my answer is that it's about the antibiotic resistance. Administering antibiotics 1 and 2 at the same time could be a way to reduce the chance of the antibiotics resistance. We can kill the Salmonella more effectively. It could be a way of the thinking logic. However, it's not the strict to the point answer. If you think that, maybe the Salmonella is a bit resistant to the antibiotics 1 and less resistant to the antibiotics 2, therefore we use them together because they target different biological processes of the Salmonella. So why not you answer this answer directly, right? And then for part 4 is about another experiment. And this experiment is about the effect of the probiotics. An experiment was carried out to study the effect of the probiotics against the Salmonella infection in mice. The table shows 3 treatments applied and their result. Setup A, the mice fitted with Salmonella, they get sick. Setup B, mice fitted with probiotics and after some time fit with the Salmonella, they remain healthy. And setup C, mice fitted with probiotics after some time fit with antibiotics and after some time fit with Salmonella, they get sick. So question 1, what can you conclude about the effect of the probiotics? Really, skills checking, data analysis. We need to compare the result and then draw conclusion. Simple idea, we can compare the result of setups A and B because in setup A, the mice were not fitted with probiotics, but for setup B, the mice were fitted with probiotics. And I would like to grab this chance to talk about the possible question variation. If we are comparing setups A and B, which one is the control setup? Or can you identify the IV/DV/CV in this comparison? Surely, for the IV, it's about fitted with the probiotics or not. But what about DV and CV? Share your opinion in the comment section. Really doing the comparison between setup A and B. A is the control setup, B is the experimental setup, and then we know that the control setup, what's the purpose of it? It aims to ensure the result of the experiment is due only to the factor under investigation. So that's the IV, mice fitted with the probiotics or not. So you can see that in setup A, without being fitted with the probiotics, the mice get sick after being fitted with the Salmonella. But what about setup B? Mice fitted with the probiotics and after some time fitted with the Salmonella, they remain healthy. So without the probiotics, they get sick. With the probiotics, they do not get sick. So we may have a very brief idea is that probiotics can prevent the Salmonella infection in mice. Remember that for the action verb, prevention, because the mice were fitted with probiotic first, and then after some time, they were fitted with the Salmonella. So somehow the probiotics kind of the prevention rather than the treatment, right? But is it comprehensive enough to draw this conclusion? If we only compare A and B, it only allows a preliminary deduction that probiotics seems to be effective, seems to be involved in this case. However, what if the health of the mice in setup B was just a coincidence, or the probiotics mask the symptoms rather than actively suppressing the bacteria? So what can we do? We have the setup C. Therefore, we need to compare setup B and setup C. And in this time, setup B will be the control setup. Because you can see that between B and C, the only difference is about after some time fitted with antibiotics. So, antibiotics, what's the function? Antibiotics can be used to kill the bacteria, including the probiotics. When antibiotics were added in setup C, the probiotics are killed. And as a result, the mice reverted from healthy to sick. That's the result from setup B and then to setup C. Surely, I'm not talking about setup BC is a whole series of the story. This proves that the protective effect observed in setup B were indeed attributable to the active or living probiotics rather than any confounding factors. Therefore, we can really say that the probiotics can prevent Salmonella infection in the mice. And you need to know that it's only 1 mark. Question didn't ask you for a comprehensive explanation. Just want to show you the whole thinking logic. How can we do the comparison? A and B is okay, B and C is okay, but can you compare setup A and setup C directly? No, because it's not fair. Therefore, if you want to do some revision about the fair test, watch the video and do the revision. And then for part 2, suggest one way in which probiotics can bring about the effect stated in part 1. Skill checking, we need to do the suggestion by using the biological principle, and we also need to recall the working principle of the probiotics. Unluckily, the textbook, it doesn't talk that much about the probiotics. However, we can do the deduction from the symptoms of the host and the characteristic of the pathogens to think about the working principle of the probiotics. How does Salmonella cause disease in the mice? They enter the gut, they find a place to stay, probably attachment to the gut epithelium, and then obtain the nutrients to grow and then multiply and release toxin. So how can the probiotics prevent the Salmonella to make the mice sick? So you can see that every checkpoint, there must be something the probiotics can do. First of all, prevent attachment. Don't let them occupy any space or forming a protective layer. Secondly, deprive the resources, compete for the nutrients. Don't let the Salmonella get enough nutrients and then let them to be starved and then die. And lastly, direct attack. The probiotics, what about they can release the antibacterial substance or some toxin to kill the Salmonella directly. Therefore, we can relate this idea to our body defense system and also the ecosystem topic, and we can generalize the idea. First of all, barrier. Probiotics forms a protective layer in the gut of the mice, preventing Salmonella from attaching to the epithelium of the gut. Secondly, interspecific competition. The probiotics may compete with the Salmonella for colonization and nutrients, space, and the food. Thirdly, inhibition. May release antibacterial substance to inhibit or kill the Salmonella. So it's all about the body defense idea or the ecosystem idea. 2 different bacterial species living in the same gut environment. So it may lead to the interspecific competition. What are they competing for? They may be competing for the space and the food, colonization site, and the nutrients. So we call the 2 terms feed and breed of the applied ecology or the ecosystem idea. And part 3, suggest why the mice in setup C got sick. We have already presented the idea in the last part, and then we still need to apply the biological principle to suggest an explanation. So we need to recall the effect of the antibiotics on the probiotics. Antibiotics can kill the probiotics, so the mice are susceptible to the Salmonella infection. And I would like to talk about the common mistake by the candidate. Some candidates state that the probiotics would induce the immune response of the mice in setup C, as the B cell, the plasma cells, and produce the antibody to fight against the Salmonella. It's not the case. And after the debriefing, I would like to mention the 2025 Ultimate Mock Exam Paper 1B question 3. I put the probiotics idea in the core topic, and it's also about the infection and also checking the concept of the antibiotics as well. So the insight is that I want to tell you, don't think that, oh, I do not study the module 3 microbiology for the elective. This kind of question is none of my business. No. You can still learn something in this question. The skill checking, how can you do the procedure writing, how can you do the data analysis, comparison, drawing the conclusion, and then learn more about the working principle of the probiotics. And then it could be the topic in the paper 1A and 1B, the core topics, right? So this question, I put the probiotics, and then from the diagram, you can see that with flow and with the probiotics, the thickness of the mucus is different on the wall of the ileum. So, for question B, with reference to the above diagram, explain why the injection of the probiotics might help reduce the chance of becoming sick due to the pathogenic bacteria in the ileum. So it is a very typical disease approach question. I would like to mention that probiotics directly inhibit Salmonella in the gut, mainly through the physical or chemical microbial competition, such as competing for colonization space or food or secreting antibacterial substance, rather than exerting their protective effect by inducing the host's immune response. The mucus layer belongs to the first line of defense, physical barrier, which is a structural barrier of the intestinal tissues. An immune response typically refers to the activation of the phagocyte, T cell, B cell producing antibodies or inflammatory response. So learn something from the elective question. It could be a way for you to improve for the core topic as well. And just like before, I will attach this question as the extra exercise for you guys. Download it in the comment section. Any question, feel free to ask it in the comment section. I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next time. Bye bye.